Have you ever wanted to dine with a band of misfit pirates aboard their ship? Well, the Pirate Dinner Adventure in Buena Park, California promises just that. Swashbuckling, dancing, sea chanty sing-alongs, a hearty meal, and plenty of theatrics.
Dear lads, a pirate's life is destiny. Destiny!
While admittedly, I'm always willing to don a pirate's hat at a moment's notice, I was a touch skeptical that this daily Anaheim theater production was going to be able to deliver all that it promised. So the question ahead, are we walking into an evening of genuine fun or a genuine tourist trap? Let's go grab a seat and together find out just how far you should go to experience the Pirate Dinner Adventure. There's absolutely no shortage of attractions, entertainment, and ways to spend your time when you're visiting Orange County. I mean, for the love of God, this is the home of Disneyland. But that's just really getting started. There's Angel Stadium, Knott's Berry Farm, tons of beautiful beaches, shopping. This is all a way to say that there are a lot of things pulling on your time and your wallet when you visit the Anaheim area. Enter the Pirate Dinner Adventure, which is located right next door to Anaheim in Buena Park, with a very easy drive to Disneyland of about 7 minutes. So you're probably seeing what I am, that this experience is very clearly meant to draw guests and families away from the theme parks and in for dinner. Buena Park itself doesn't have a lot to recommend itself on first visual glance. Pulling off the freeway, I was greeted by a kind of concrete paradise, but did find it amusing to note that this was located right on the same strip as medieval times. I guess they know their audience. The Pirate Dinner Adventure building itself has very minimal theming on the outside. I'm not sure why, but I hoped that maybe I would be greeted by a giant pirate ship, or at least a pirate or two waving us into our parking spots. But I was fine to hold off on my desire of being immersed until we entered the building. After parking and approaching the entrance, that's when I hit what I'd call my first real speed bump. Earlier in the day, I had called and asked for a recommendation of when we should arrive. The website very clearly recommends arriving early to fully enjoy the experience. And on the phone, I was told that 3 to 3:30 would be a good arrival time for the 5:30 p.m. show. Deciding to split the difference and running, extremely typically me, late, I queued up for the show at 3:40 p.m. Aside from the one employee who looked none too pleased to see me in the entryway, there seemed to be no one working there. Apparently, the doors to the show didn't open up until 4 p.m. despite what I was told on the phone.
We're waiting. I'm glad we didn't get here at 3:30. So early, not too early.
Hey, for once, at least my perpetual lateness did work out and actually benefit me. Woohoo! At 4 p.m., I had a brief little conversation with the cashier and then headed over to the main hostess stand to start the night. Since I decided to purchase the VIP experience, I'll get more into that later. Our tickets included one little complimentary, I guess I'd call it, photo shoot. That means I was immediately brought over to this giant green screen and posed for a few photos. It was honestly a fun way to start the experience, but the picture quality is pretty bad on these prints. And of course, it was immediately followed by an upsell to get me to purchase 2 more add-on photo items. I happily passed on those, but it was nice to be able to take this picture home with me as part of the VIP package. I then stepped into the main space and was ready to start exploring what else there was to do before the show started. When purchasing your ticket, there are a variety of add-on options, one of which is around a mini golf. And I thought, hey, why not? Let's do it. Unfortunately, Mother Nature definitely didn't agree with my mini golfing ambitions, and I was told that the course was closed due to the weather that had happened earlier in the day. There had been a bit of rain.
I'm a little bit bummed that we couldn't do the mini golfing, but you know, weather, what can you do, right? Looks pretty good though.
Now, I, of course, logically thought that meant, well, someone will just refund me the $20 for the mini golf round for Nick and I. Instead, what I was told was no refunds. Yeah, you get $20 in merchandise credit to the store. I think that's a kind of questionable business practice. And as a result of that, I would say if you want to do mini golfing, wait until you arrive and then book it there just in case you get hit with bad weather. But I decided to take it in stride and peruse the merch shop. There were lots of cute options here, particularly for kids, little pirate weapons. There was accessories, trinkets, even some pirate drinkware. None of this is like Ren Fair quality stuff, so none of this is handmade or anything like that. But I ended up finding a nice pirate coin necklace. The only real unfortunate thing, this cost $15, and I didn't really see anything that was in the $5 price range, so I ended up saying screw it and just losing that other $5 in merch credit.
I am certain that my necklace is not worth the $15 that I paid for it, but I do actually really like it. So when on a pirate ship.
The next 2 places to check out were the bar and then the sitting room. This space is used when they have dueling piano bar events here, but I thought it was very immersive and cool, even for the pirate theme. They had some televisions running a little bit of a preview as to what the Pirate Dinner Adventure show would be like, and it was a relaxing place to hang out with cool lighting. I decided to head over to the bar and see what the options were for drinks. This is very much I would call it, you know, like a Chili's TGI Fridays, very much of a standard juice-forward kind of cocktail menu. So things like hurricanes, Mai Tais, Long Island islands. I think that's all totally appropriate for this kind of experience. Frankly, I would have been way more shocked if I came in here and they were doing like artisanal New York City style handcrafted cocktails. But I do think it's important to know what you're getting into. You're going to come in here, you're going to have a couple drinks, and they are going to be a little bit on the sweeter side for sure. I ordered the Old Man in the Sea and the Drunken Sailor. Of the two, I really enjoyed the Drunken Sailor. I thought it was quite nice. Definitely on the sweeter side, but still not entirely unbalanced. The other cocktail definitely ended up being a bit too sugary for my taste.
Okay, this one's better. This one's better. And happy hour pricing. That was a nice price.
I mean, who doesn't love happy hour pricing? So the cocktails were a very reasonable $9 per drink. I loved that. And they also offered refills at an even cheaper price. So for what I was getting, I felt like the cocktails were a pretty good deal. And for adults who drink, I do think having at least 1 or 2 drinks before you go into the show, it only enhances the experience, okay? You get what I'm saying. Now, if you're looking for what else are you doing with the hour and a half before the show starts, that's really it. Even if I had played a mini golf round, I can't imagine that would have taken more than 20 minutes realistically. So I am just really baffled as to why the website recommends arriving 90 minutes before the show starts. The only thing that really leaves me with is that there's more opportunities for them to extract more money out of your wallet. Kids can add on a spend to get their face painted. You can upgrade your drinks to a pricier souvenir pirate cup. Or yeah, you can spend more money on the merchandise. If I was returning to the show, I absolutely wouldn't arrive any more than 40 minutes before showtime. That's just certainly plenty. All that being said, I did have a fun time sipping on some cocktails, sitting in this room, and really relaxing and taking my time through the pre-show experience, even though I think we were there just far too early.
The drinks are very strong, but the doors are open, so I may be saved from the bar.
Yeah, I guess the $9 cocktails will sneak up on you. Heading towards the main theater, there is a really gorgeous pre-show area. Nothing really happens in this space. It's mainly just a walkthrough to get you into the main theater room. But this is just a gorgeous area. And honestly, it was the kind of onboard that I was hoping I'd get as soon as I arrived at the theater.
Wow, this is really cool. I actually feel like I feel very transported.
I hung around here for a few minutes and just snapped a couple photos. Then it was time to head into the main event, and my first impressions of the room were wow. The scale of this room is absolutely huge, and this made me really excited for what was to come. I mean, it's a whole pirate ship. I felt like I was staring at a whole pirate ship at least, in the middle of, Anaheim.
I have to say, the outside, it's a little like upcharge sort of heaven. This is legitimately impressive. Like, I feel glad I dressed up now.
There are several tiers of seating, all based on how much you paid. As I mentioned earlier, we went for the VIP package, which meant we were theoretically supposed to have the best seats in the house. That did mean we were front row. I thought our seats were fantastic, but honestly, I don't think we would have been like a ton worse for wear if we were in row 3 or 4. One of the fun upsides of being in the front row, though, did mean that we were targets.
When the captain says go, you're gonna take a bag of gold and chuck it at my face.
Oh, Jesus, I have to throw it?
My moneymaker, yeah. All right, I'm gonna catch it. When I have 3 bags of gold, I'm gonna swing in, throw them in the net, and we're gonna win.
Okay, what if my throwing skills are slightly subpar?
We got this.
Okay, we got this anyway.
We got this.
You're gonna be all the way up there.
Just follow your heart, kid.
Okay.
Yeah, aim for my face.
Aim for your face. Okay, I got this.
Cannon Masters.
Cannon Masters.
Cannon Masters.
Cannon Masters.
Part of the free show experience is the pirate, what I was calling pirate hype men come out. They'll do some stuff to rile up the crowds and then also pick their targets for audience participation.
I just got told that I am a cannon master and but it involves me throwing extremely high, and I am such a I have no hand-eye coordination. It's terrible. So now I'm nervous, but I'm very excited to be in the show.
Before the show gets started, everyone gets served a salad and then any extra appetizers you ordered in. The nice thing is all the standard food options are included with the price of admission, meaning you're gonna get the appetizer, the entree, and your dessert all for one fixed price. This is the time where I tell you that there are so many upgrade options for your meal. I decided to do a couple of them just to see if any of them were worth getting. So the first thing I added on was mozzarella sticks.
First troubling sign is ranch was served with my mozzarella sticks. Kind of tastes like what you'd get at an arcade,
Totally fine. I was not expecting hot cuisine at this meal. These were an extra $13, just okay. The standard entree of the chicken was pretty decent. The upgraded option of the salmon was a little bit worse, and the annoying part was they charged an extra $20 on top of the price just to be served fish. That kind of pricing to me feels definitely like an overcharge for what you're getting. Towards the end of the show, the dessert came out. The standard food order is a German chocolate cake, which I found honestly to be totally inedible. To me, it tastes like it just wasn't cooked. So I was actually pretty happy with my upgraded option, which was the treasure toffee cake. It was an extra $10, but it was a butter toffee cake, and then it came with chocolate ice cream. At this point, though, honestly, the drinks had been flowing, so the ice cream cream, it was just hitting for me. I will cap off the whole food review portion of this video by saying, I don't think anyone is coming to the pirate dinner adventure for the food, okay? It's not really a restaurant. I completely understand that. So my expectations going in were just like something that was kind of passable. And I think everything besides the chocolate cake did hit that. Just don't add any extra money into the food part of the dinner adventure. Okay, now it is on to the main event though, which is what I was really here for, and that's the show. Both of the upgraded experiences, one of which is the treasure seating and the one I picked, the VIP experience, come with an included beaded necklace, a souvenir pirate bandana, and the pirate flag. I will tell you that the pirate flag was worth, to me, its weight in gold because you got your pirate flag to match the section you were sitting in. So for me, I was sitting in the purple section, which means I was rooting for the purple pirate. And this was just a blast. Truthfully, I probably had way more fun with this than I should have throughout the course of the show.
All right, I like the purple pirate. I like him.
I became very emotionally invested in the Purple Pirate's journey, and honestly, he was the best. I'm not biased at all. The show kind of follows a loose narrative structure. There's a little bit of romance. And then honestly, there's kind of some of everything here. There's singing. There's dancing. Aerial arts. There's lots and lots and lots of pirate fighting. And then the moment I'm sure you've been waiting for, the audience participation section.
Off to the pirates when they ask them to do so. On your marks, get set, go!
Oh God! All right. Oh God! Shit!
Now where is Cutthroat Jack from the Red Crow? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for participation. You may now go sit down.
I really tried.
Yeah, that went about as well as I thought it would. The entire show lasts about 90 minutes, during which you're getting served the entree and the dessert portions, and you're free to get more drinks from your servers too. I was legitimately very impressed and very entertained with the entire show production. I thought the dancing was great. I actually thought the pirate choreography was very believable. There's a really nice pacing through the show, a really good mix where new visual gags will get introduced over the course of the entire show. So it really just keeps things moving ahead, and I felt genuinely engaged through the entire 90 minutes. The show does truly feel all ages, where I felt I was entertained as an adult and there were kids in the theater that were hanging along just as well too. Everyone in the room got to get sworn in to actually become a pirate officially by the end of it, and the kids got invited on stage for this. This was a nice moment.
Where to be a good pirate?
The ship plays a really integral part in this show, and supposedly it's a fully rigged 18th century Spanish galleon. I'm gonna have to take their word on that because I haven't done a lot of pirate ship rigging in my day. The very impressive part, this is set in a tank with 250,000 gallons of water. Honestly, the water, I thought it was gonna be utilized a little bit more in the show, but for the elements it was in, it was neat to see.
Let's get on here, treasure.
One of the other things that really stood out to me was just how fully the space was used. Pirates are running around the edges of the ship, climbing up to the top masts. That was helpful so that everyone, regardless of where they're sitting, at some point had a prime view of the show. And to me, it felt like they really, really fully utilized the set, which was nice to see. The show ends up culminating in an arc of good guys versus bad guys, and will the hero get his heroine? I don't want to give you any major plot spoilers, but it's safe to say there is indeed a happy ending for our pirate dinner adventure. Is the show Broadway caliber? Absolutely not, but you're also not paying Broadway prices. For me, this delivered in basically everything I was expecting it would.
So obviously it is heavy on the cheese, but I actually had a lot of fun.
After the show ends, there's an opportunity to go and snap photos down in front of the ship with your pirate. Of course, I took the chance to meet the legendary purple pirate. And you could go peruse the gift shop again. And there was yet again another upcharge opportunity where you could go and meet the cast of the show in a more formal photo setting. Ooh, okay, will the upcharges never end though? And now it's time to see how the pirate dinner adventure in Buena Park stacks up against other fandom experiences around the globe. My scoring system is called Juliet's How Far I'll Go score, and it rates fandom experiences on 4 different categories: uniqueness, fun factor, immersion, and value. Each category is rated 1 to 10, with the maximum possible score for any experience being a 40. And with that score, I help you determine just how far you should go to experience the fandom adventure for yourself. On uniqueness, it's fair enough to say that there aren't a ton of places around the globe where you can watch 2 pirates or more dueling each other while you're served a chicken breast. And while there are other dinner theater experiences you can have, the pirate theming here does make it relatively unique. It's a 7 out of 10. On to fun factor. While the pre-show experience I think was a little bit lacking in just fun experiences you could do, well, that is besides drink alcohol. Once the show kicked in, the atmosphere in the room was really lively. Pirate entertainers did a really good job of getting the crowd hyped and involved. And if you can let yourself go and fall into all the silliness that is a full-blown pirate production, you're gonna have a good time at this show. It's a 7 out of 10. On to immersion. So yet again, where this category is going to lose points for me is on the onboarding experience and pre-show. I understand we're working with employees here that are probably not getting, well, let's face it, the highest of pay wages, but I didn't really feel drawn into the experience in the way that I wanted to as soon as I arrived. So a bit more pirate theming from these employees would have went a long way. And I do feel there is a seriously missed opportunity with one of the most themed spaces in the building being completely underutilized for the pre-show experience. But once I walked through those doors and the show started, it was a pirate's life for me. It's a 7 out of 10. The last category is value, and this is where things are a real mixed bag for me. The base ticket price of $75 per person seems reasonable to me when I think about a full theater production and a meal being included. But the pirate dinner adventure was absolutely relentless in continuing to look for more opportunities to upcharge me at basically every turn. I just didn't like the feeling of being nickeled and dimed, and I really was not a big fan of their policy of automatically converting my unusable mini golf experience into merchandise credit. That just should have gone back on my credit card, sorry. All that being said, even with the additional $37 I paid for the VIP experience, the seating was a big enough upgrade that I felt this value was pretty reasonable. It's a 6 out of 10, which brings the Pirate Dinner Adventure's total score to a 27. For me, that really falls in the range of an experience worth visiting once if you're in the area, but definitely not worth going out of your way for. That wraps up today's Fandom Adventure. If you enjoyed this review, I'll be back here with another one for you next week, so please consider hitting the subscribe button because that helps out the channel a ton. I'll see you then, and remember, fandom is for any age.